Wow. So I was just reading through John chapter 8, and there's a thought that I just wanted to share. So in verse 32, Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." And oftentimes we quote the verse and we are not diligent enough in looking at the words, because sometimes we just repeat things that we hear over time. And oftentimes we say, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." But the actual King James version, it it says, "Make you free," and not "set you free," because there is a big difference between the two. Setting free, being set free by being from being made free. Sorry for the rambling. So when I look at it, if the best way to understand this is you look on the whole context of the chapter. So remember, the chapter starts out by Jesus coming from the Mount of Olives, and then he came down, and as he came down, he was met by the Pharisees, and they brought a woman who was caught in the act of adultery. Now, you often hear people say, "Yeah, the woman can commit adultery by herself, then bring the woman, so where was the man?" You first have to understand that this was never about the woman or the man or anything. So if it was about the woman, then maybe they would have brought the man. It had nothing to do with the woman or the man. It was just, the woman was just a tool that they were trying to use to trap Jesus, right? To see what he would respond, because there are two options. But that's not where we're going now. Another time we can explain that. We can look at that. So in talking to them, the whole thing, Jesus knelt down and he wrote on the ground, and they were convicted in their own selves, and they left. And after they left, Jesus started to talk to some of the people that were left, because not everybody left. Who left were those who came to accuse the woman, because remember, the crowd was still there. So he started to talk to the crowd, and he said to them, "I am the light of the world." Now, when Jesus said, "I'm the light of the world," a big statement that Jesus making now. Because the first thing is that you have to understand that what they understood the statement to me, in Jesus saying the light of the world, Jesus was talking about the whole thing of illumination, knowledge, revelation, and they had the light of the world as a divine statement, or a statement of the divine. In other words, light of the world is coming from way back, from their forefathers would have taught them about the whole thing of the Exodus, right? Which is when Jesus, was when the Israelites were being led out of Egypt. And if you remember clearly, it states that in the night, when they couldn't see in the dark, God appeared to them like a pillar of fire, a ball of fire in the night. So light speaks of that which makes the path clear. The fire brought light that made the path clear. So much so that when God instructed them to make the tabernacle, there were some furnishings, but when it comes to the temple, there were two great lights they were instructed to put two great lights at the entrance of the temple. Now, these two great lights represented God, because it was from the whole thing of the Exodus, they put these two great lights, remembering the whole concept of God leading them through the wilderness when it was in their darkest moment, at the night when they couldn't see, and they would have gone into dangerous terrains and paths, and God appeared to them and led them. So those two great lights in the temple, they represented God. So when Jesus said to them, "I am the light of the world," the first thing that came to their mind was that Jesus was now saying that he was God. And that's why to them the statement was blasphemous, because they were saying, "Hey, you're just a man. How you come talk about certain things?" So from there, Jesus started to talk to them about the whole thing of light and darkness. And light now in this context, as I said, it speaks of the whole thing of knowledge and revelation, illumination, and all things. So they understood perfectly what Jesus was saying, but many of them couldn't receive it because it was a statement that shouldn't be coming from a man. This is a statement that should be coming from the mouth of God. So they were struggling with the statement, and then now, in going down, as Jesus began to talk to them about light, because you see, one of the things, before we get down to that, one of the things you have to understand about light is that there are dimensions of light. There are different dimensions of light. You have the lesser light and greater light, and progressive light. So that's why when persons get revelation of certain things, you say they get enlightenment, right? But you have revelation upon revelation, and you have different levels of revelation, different realms of truth and realms of knowledge. Because I can know about I can know about a banana, right? Just know, say, hey, the banana is good. When it's green, it get iron. When it's ripe, it get potassium and so on. But you have somebody else who will come with a greater level of knowledge that will start to explain things about the banana that I didn't know. So even though I had knowledge of what banana can basically give you, there's certain levels of knowledge that I won't have until I go deeper studies. So when you get deeper knowledge, or you go deeper in the word or anything, you are being enlightened. So you are getting greater light upon your light. Now, if you notice something about light, that's why it's dangerous for somebody to be enlightened and don't have the Spirit of God, because the same light that can give you vision or light, if you don't have the Spirit of God and the sensitivity to understand how to handle knowledge, light can blind you. So the same light that can give you vision or help you to see is the same light that, if it comes in a greater intensity, it can cause you blindness. For example, if you're driving at night, right, and the road is dark, you need light to see where you're going, right? But take, for example, without light, you can't see the road. With light that comes from your vehicle, you're able to see the path before you. But in the event another vehicle is coming towards you and that vehicle shines its light, because your light is shining away from you, it is not going to be as bright as the vehicle coming towards you, because that vehicle coming towards you, that light is going to be a greater light than your light. So even though the two lights in their essence may be the same amount of what you measure light in again, I don't know what measure I don't remember what measure you use to measure light, but say for example they have the same level of brightness, because one is facing away from you and one is facing you. The one that is facing toward you is going to appear brighter to you. So that light that comes towards your vehicle, it's going to cause you blind. You're not going to be able to see where you're going if that light is shining in your face, in your eyes, because it's going to cause you blindness. So the point I'm making is that you have different levels of light, right? Greater lights. And sometimes we're walking in one truth and we are not open to greater truths or greater lights. Anyway, let's get to the point now. So when Jesus said the truth shall make you free, he was talking about when you get enlightenment, when you get knowledge, when you get truth, when you get revelation, that shall make you free. Now, the reason he didn't say it shall set you free is because there's a big difference between being set free and being made free. That's where we started out. Being set free is not total freedom. You can be set free and still in bondage. So you can be set free and you get a certain amount of light, but that light is not sufficient to give you utmost freedom. And if I can use an analogy, which is one of the better one I can think of, if you are trapped somewhere, for example, you run in trouble with the law and you are placed in maybe a police car, or you're placed in a cell, right? Awaiting trial or awaiting charge or whatever. I can come and I can set you free from the car, or I can find the key, pick the lock when nobody not looking, and set you free from the cell. But setting you free is only going to give you the opportunity to run away from the law, but you have not been made free. You know, when you've been made free is when you prove yourself that whether you're either innocent or guilty or whatever. Say, for example, you prove yourself as innocent, or the judge, you go before a judge and the judge decide to give you to give you a bly, to express, to think that exhibit amount of leniency towards you and say, okay, go. At that point, you are made free. But when you are set free, you still need to be made free. So Jesus said the truth, when you get the truth of the light of his word, when you get the truth, the revelation from God of who God is and what his word can do and what God can do in your life, that truth is potent enough to make you free, to make you into a free person, free from the bondage of sin, free from everything that can keep you in darkness. When you're set free, you can still be in darkness because there are many things that you're not gonna be privy to. There are many things that when you're set free, is the analogy that I use, when you're set free, you still have to look over your shoulder. I wonder if them are come for you because you escape. So even though you're set free, you can run from point A to point B and hide. You're not free. You're only free to roam and free to hide. But when you're made free, you pass the level of just initial freedom to absolute freedom. So now you can walk past police officers, you can walk anywhere without having to wonder who is going to try to hold you, who is going to try to kill you, who is going to, because you've been made free indeed. Not just set free, but you've been made free. Let us seek to get the light of God's word, true freedom from God's word, the revelation of God's word, the illumination of who God is, who he should be to us, and that will allow us to be made free and to walk in absolute freedom. Oh Lord, it's a lot of minutes of consume. I hope somebody can be blessed by that. God bless you.